Lipinski.
And I'm Keith DeCandido, and we are on location at Icon 11 here at the State University of New York at Stony Brook, Long Island, filming the convention.
We're at the home of Klingons and Tribbles and people in costume and dealer rooms and...
Panels, lots of panels.
Lots of panels.
Tons of panels, and guests, and authors, and stars, and all sorts of neat people. And we'll be talking to some of them throughout this part, and then next week we will be doing one of those panels. We're doing a panel on censorship in writing, fantasy, science fiction, and comics. So sit back and enjoy the show.
Now we're here in the dealer room. This right behind me is our table, the Chronic Rift table. But what we're going to do is walk around to some of the other tables and see what some of the other people are selling, what the other people are thinking, just what they're doing and what they're like. And what is your name?
Chuck Neptune from Toledo, Ohio. I'm co-owner of Apocalypse Art Productions, and we've made quite a long journey to be here at Icon.
So what are you selling?
Well, right now we're doing custom T-shirts right here on the spot. We do leather jackets, jean jackets, basically anything you can think of. Our company is really based around one main artist right now. That's Rob Pryor. He's done a lot of work for a lot of the larger gaming companies in the industry right now. We do a lot of cover work, album covers, book covers, game covers, and we're coming out with a line of prints that right now we have quite a good pre-order for them right now. It's going really well for them.
I see that he's making up some denim jackets. How long does it take to make up one of those?
Depending on what the customer orders, it can take anywhere from 40 minutes to 2 hours. It's complexity of the work, how well they want the work to look, if it's photorealistic or if it's just a nice airbrushed piece. It's just a matter of how much time the customer wants them to put into it. Like a base price range for something like that would be like $45 to the sky, basically, depending on how well they wanted it done. So
the sky? What's the sky?
Well, the sky could be up to a couple grand if you really want to get crazy. We do custom work on cars as well, so we're doing pretty well. We're bringing actually our company is made up of young artists that are breaking into the industry. I handle the legal aspect of it, write up the contracts, get the money that they want, and they do the work. So that's what our company is made up of.
How much do most of these T-shirts go for? The ones that are already made up?
The ones that are pre-printed here, color or black or white, are only $10 or 2 for $15. So it's a pretty cheap deal right here. So it's kind of the bargain table at times here. So we've come a long way. We want to do some business. So
hear that, guys? The bargain table. The bargain table is this way. 2 shirts for $15. You're not going to get this somewhere else. Thank you very much.
No problem. Thanks.
And what are your names, please?
I'm Cygnus, a mage of the Blue Star.
Elowin Ka, priestess of the Black Dragon Clan.
Rom Darkstar, elven warrior.
And what are you selling?
I'm the maker of fine pewter items. I've been doing it for about 10 years. Basically, our pieces are based on mythology, legends, lore, things along those lines.
What about the jewelry that you're wearing on your face?
Well, this is decorative chainmail. Chainmail is usually worn by warriors for protection, but this is strictly for beauty, to add to the costume.
What about your costume?
Totally protection.
Believe me, I've run into them a couple of times. It's definitely protective.
What about some of the other things that you're selling? Maybe you could tell me about the T-shirts or the goblets or anything else that you have?
Well, there's a lot of different things. We sell sets of goblets that can be given as anniversary gifts or wedding presents. Romeo and Juliet is this pair. There are crystal balls to see one's future in if you have a wizardly bent. And then the talent, of course, helps. There's a wonderful chess set that you can while away the hours with. And of course there are gauntlets that can be used as decoration or protection.
Could you tell me a little bit about the shirts?
Well, I'm one of the artists who does some of these pieces. This is one of my illustrations, and I've decided to start a line of T-shirts now with along these lines of like Dungeons and Dragons, fantasy myth. Also, this has a lot to do with mythos from England, the triple goddess, maid, mother, and crone, things along those lines. So basically, we're trying to stem out into more of a fantasy genre and get a different crowd, people who don't collect pewter or wear too much jewelry, they would definitely buy a T-shirt.
I remember you were here last year too, right? Yeah.
We've been here for 7 years now.
You usually do pretty well at these conventions?
Oh, yeah, definitely. This is one of our better conventions. A lot of people are very open and they like to spend their money here. They kind of gear up for it.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
My name is Ed Hutnick. I'm from New Haven, Connecticut, but here at our little store, the Crystal Connection, I am the summarized salesman. I am here to serve your sales needs, to give you any service and help you need in selecting the finest of quality goods that we sell.
And you're a minion.
Oh yes, the minion. I am a trusted minion of the lady who owns the store, who is Jane Sibley. Minion, there's 9 of us besides me in this body. The summarized salesman, Ed Hutnick. But we're fortunately keeping the Cleveland lounge singer down in the basement for now. He keeps getting out occasionally, but we won't talk about him.
And you said you were an actor?
Sometimes.
Just checking.
Yes, I'm a professional actor. I am a professional. I have received a total of $3,000 in my life for acting over a period of approximately 20 years. I understand that makes me professional.
It's more than I've received for writing. Don't worry about it.
Perfect.
What sort of stuff are you selling here?
All right, we have a vast selection of things. Our necklaces. Let's start at the end of the table. We have marbles for those who have misplaced their marbles. Feathered hat bands, assorted chip necklace jewelries. They start at $8 and work their way up to $50 depending on the cost of the stones. We have got quartz pieces that have been carved, crystal balls, pyramids, wands, massage stones. An example of a massage stone is rounded on one end for working out the kinks in the muscles, pointed on the other end for people who pay extra for the massage. No, actually, it's for shiatsu, the acupressure massage. But the time for a demonstration.
That's kind of neat. It's kind of neat.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to get... It's just working out the muscles. We have got toys. Our Amber connection from Europe has come through big time this year. And we are now selling also a line of holograms, which you probably will not be able to show up on your camera.
But I've seen them and they're extremely cool.
Yes, we have art pieces as well as wristwatches, the eyeglasses with the famous bullet hole motif, and the dollar sign eyeglasses for those who are negotiating their next contract with the network. Going down the line, we also have our pet department for the urban dweller. Fossilized fish. They're quiet. They're easily subdued with a large whip. They don't get out at night and terrorize the neighborhood. And best of all, they're fixed. They're so fixed, they're sedentary. But that's another story. We are also selling, we're having fun, aren't we? We're also selling dungeon figures for the Dungeon and Dragon crowd because a friend of ours happens to be an award-winning miniature artist, and we are selling those for her. Going down the end, we also have jewelry pieces for the SCA or the neo-pagan crowd, if I may. These are circlets that are made by a jeweler in our neighborhood in the New Haven area. They are onyx, silver, and copper, sterling, of course. They are headdresses that are worn as a circlet for a lady or gentleman. Let me, excuse me?
Oh, no.
Oh, that's okay. You can wear one. I think it looks good. That'll be $45. No.
Doesn't screw up my hairspray?
No, it doesn't. No. Trust me, Vanna, it's perfect. It's you. Sorry. And our latest addition this year is feathers. As Woody Allen...
Should I ask what the feathers are for?
You could ask. We could even tell you. But mostly they're used for costuming. Or as Edna St. Vincent Millay put it, hope is a thing with feathers. And as Woody Allen put it, so is my cousin Ernie, but that's another story. Basically, we are a department store. We are the F.W. Woolworth of the Spanish crowd. If you cannot find it here, point it to us and you'll find it here tomorrow morning at a reasonable price because we're also an aqueous mercantile endeavor. Pirates. But that's another joke.
And I wish you the best of luck. Thank you very much.
I hope I haven't annoyed you too much.
No.
I promise people they're going to have fun.
What is your name, please?
Jason Crystal.
Okay. And are you enjoying yourself so far at ICON?
Yeah, I'm having a good time. It's good this year.
Have you seen any of the panel discussions?
I haven't really had the time. I'm volunteering, so I'm helping out all over the place.
You think there's a pretty good turnout of stuff in the dealer room, of stuff to buy?
It's a pretty good one. It's better last year. ICON was, there were a lot more dealers here last year, but the dealer room it's pretty good this year.
What'd you get?
So far I've just gotten this little Godzilla book here, and I got a tape or two.
Is there anything else you're specifically looking for to get?
I'm looking for certain models, but it doesn't look like I'm going to find them.
Do you find that it's easier at conventions to find certain things?
Much easier, yeah.
Like what, for example?
Mostly Japanimation related things. You can find things, and then if the dealer who's here doesn't have it, a lot of them will have mail order also, so they can usually get it for you.
Okay, well, thank you very much. Enjoy yourself. And what is your name, please?
My name is Elaine Pantino.
And where are you from?
I'm from Bethpage.
So is this your first time at ICON?
Yes, it is.
So what sort of things are you buying or looking for here in the dealer room?
Well, basically, I'm just looking around, but I'm interested in the fantasy art. I'm a Trekkie from way back, and basically, the books. Things.
Have you picked up any tribbles?
Not yet. If I see any, though, I might.
Yeah. Oh, they have lots of tribbles.
Do they?
Like just about every Star Trek table, they have to have tribbles.
Right.
And books.
I know.
And scripts and everything else.
Yeah. Well, I'll be looking, and hopefully I'll find something I'm looking for.
Have you gone to any of the panel discussions?
One.
What was it on?
Well, no, I'm sorry. It wasn't a panel discussion. I went to see one of the sci-fi writers.
So you planning on seeing anything else today before it ends?
There's another science fiction artist I'd like to catch. And his name is, I don't know, I can't think of it offhand. But starts at 3 o'clock.
Okay.
So,
we don't want to, so we don't want to keep you. But
Right.
thank you very much, and I hope you enjoy yourself.
Okay, thank you.
This is Mr. Bill Hickey of Starfleet Uniforms / the Franklin Mint. What exactly is it that you do besides Starfleet Uniforms, or is that what you...
Well, no, in the real world, I'm a high school guidance counselor. He's the one that separates reality from fantasy for the youngsters.
How appropriate. So you do uniforms...
Just for fun.
Right. And you also do little model things here.
Yes, for fun and profit. Except here, it's just for fun.
Aha. That was actually leads me into my next question. Do you do ICON regularly, or is
This was my second ICON, and unless they get a major Next Generation star next year, my last.
You focus mainly on the Next Generation, or is that just...
Wouldn't you say?
Well, that's the current thing. Do you do old Trek stuff also? Or?
I used to. That used to be all I would sell, were the old style uniforms. To say that the demand fell off would be a gross understatement. Plummeted. I mean, 2 years ago, just fell right through the bottom.
That's interesting. Do you, are these like official models, or are these just...
Oh yeah, these are all licensed.
They are?
Yeah, you only see them here. You get them from the mint.
Aha.
I mean, I don't sell these individual ones.
Oh, okay. These are just the display models. And the chess set, too, which is very fetching.
Yeah, only $9.44. And if you order here, you get the $125 sterling silver calendar medallion free.
Well, thank you very much, and good luck.
Okay, now, as an interesting side note, at least to me, I was in Star Trek the Motion Picture.
Really?
Yes. I was an ensign in the medical division. Sounds like I was a teenage werewolf or something
Right,
like
yes,
that.
I was an ensign in the medical.
In that big crew scene where they have everyone there.
Right.
And I'm visible. There's even a close-up for 42 seconds. Great moments in film history.
Yes, well, now you have to go out and rent Star Trek the Motion Picture. You don't have to watch it. We won't make you do that.
Just fast forward 20 minutes into the film.
Watch that scene. Thank you very much.
Okay.
This is Vinny from Golden Memories, a comic store in Selden and Hicksville?
Correct.
Right. And you are a comics dealer, one of many who are wandering around here. How's business been this weekend so far?
Business this is, I think, a little off from what it was last year. I really don't know the reasons for that. I guess you'd have to ask the promoters. But it's not as brisk as it was last year. Maybe the recession. I don't know.
Yeah. You run 2 comic stores?
Right. Well, my partner and I both own. We own 2 stores. He runs the one in Hicksville. I run the one in Selden.
But anything in particular you focus on? I mean, Golden Memories. Do you specialize in back issues, or is it just a general interest?
Well, the backbone of any comic book store are the new books.
Yeah.
That's what keeps it alive. But you really have to have a good selection of back issues, and we do. Primarily Silver Age, which is the period of the 60s. Right. But we do also go back into the 50s and even into the 40s.
Okay, well, good luck for the rest of the weekend. And
thank you very much.
Thank you. I am here with Robert Sheckley, a very well-known science fiction writer, primarily a science fiction humorist, who this weekend won the Raymond Z. Gallen Award for Outstanding Achievement in Science Fiction Writing. Your book, Immortality, Inc., was, at least theoretically, the basis for the movie Free Jack. Yeah. From what all reports, it didn't keep as much of the original as it might have. How did you respond to the movie?
Well, rather blankly, frankly. It didn't even feel like my own thing. I sort of saw it as any other science fiction action film with car chase, and wasn't very crazy about it.
Why did they bother even... it doesn't seem to be based very much on your book. How much of the book did they keep, if anything?
They kept quite a lot, actually. Well, they kept the entire framework, the opening situation, the being pulled into the future, and all that. But after that, they foreshortened everything into a several-hour chase. And my story after that occupied some a week, let's say, of time. They just went right to the chase.
What are you working on now?
Well,
what's next for Robert Sheckley?
I've just finished my second collaboration with Roger Zelazny. Really? Yes.
Is it related to Bring Me the Head of Prince Charming, or is it?
Yes, it is. It's the second of 3. It deals with the same general background, which is a contest for good and evil, as it were, on Earth's 1,000-year anniversary. And this involves Faust, but the wrong Faust gets involved in there. So we have Faust and Faust's double, and sort of like a lot of movement through various periods of history. That it's hard to do the plot justice.
Okay, well, thank you very much, and congratulations on your award.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. With Walter John Williams, who is the author of the book Days of Atonement, which was recently released in paperback by Tor Books. He also wrote the cyberpunk novel Hardwired, and he has a new novel that he just handed into Tor called Aristoi. And why don't you tell us just what Aristoi is?
Okay, well, I decided to do a far, far future book along the lines of Jack Vance's Dying Earth or Gene Wolfe's Book of the New Sun. Something that takes place very, very far into the future, into a future that's almost unrecognizable. And I decided that we got everything, and it worked out. That we got star drive, and that worked out. And we got artificial intelligence, and it was great. And we got genetic engineering, and that was terrific. And we got nanotechnology, and that worked. And we got instantaneous communication between everywhere, and that worked. And we got artificial reality, and that worked.
So what's the catch?
Well, the catch is that it doesn't exactly solve the problems. It just boosts problems into a different order of magnitude. And the basis of it is that technology is evolving so swiftly that there is only a very small percentage of the population that can actually keep up with it and to kind of ride the crest of this ongoing technological revolution. And those people are the Aristoi, who essentially determine the course of future events.
That's a Greek root, isn't it, Aristoi?
Aristoi, yeah. It's the root for aristocracy. It means the best.
That's appropriate.
Yeah.
You've been touring around promoting Days of Atonement, which was just released in paperback. That's been pretty successful for you.
Seems to have done pretty well. I've sold a screen option on it.
Really?
So in the next couple years, you may be hearing more from that.
Will you be doing the screenplay, or did you just option?
I can hope. It's really not up to me, and it's not necessarily up to John Levy, who bought the screenwrites. So I would love to do the screenplay for it. But this is I call it my Gothic Western science fiction police procedural.
Right.
It actually deals with a lot of the issues that I've been dealing with in my other works, but it's in a more contemporary setting. It's set just after the turn of the century in New Mexico, in a small mining town. And so it deals with a kind of a small town reflection of the big macroscopic technological changes and millennial madness that's going on.
Okay, well, thank you very much for stopping by.
Thank you.
Have fun at the convention.
Yeah.
I'm here with Sarah Douglas, who has been in V the Final Battle, Superman 2, Beastmaster 2, Nightfall, Solar Baby, Space 1999, People That Time Forgot, Return of the Swamp Thing, and any number of other things.
Conan the Destroyer.
You were in Conan the Destroyer. That's right. I'd forgotten that. She was in Conan the Destroyer, too.
Oh, sorry, somebody just shot me. It's fine.
Oh,
It's the door. This is live from...
Yes. And she is one of the media guests at Icon this weekend. Do you have a particular affinity for genre films, or is that just where you keep getting roles?
I think probably it certainly was where I started getting roles. I've done a lot of other work in my 24 odd years, but it's certainly where I have the most fun. And if I'm asked to do, let's put it like this, for me to get another sort of role, I have to really go after it and audition and go through that whole process and then get bumped by some nubile young thing. And I don't like being bumped by nubile young things.
No.
So as far as this sort of role, luckily, most of the time they see tall, dark, evil, wicked, whatever, and they say, Sarah Douglas.
Right.
So it's an easier way of making a living, let's put it like that. Plus I get to wear big wigs and big shoulder pads and big everything. It's fun.
You do tend to play bad guys.
Funny you should say that.
Yes. Do you enjoy those roles in particular? I mean, you've sort of been typecast at this point. I mean.
Yes, I'm certainly. I see you enjoy those roles. I'm getting a little bit bored with it. I mean, there is only so many
Well,
times...
your characters keep getting shot or killed at the end of the movies.
Actually, it's not so much I get shot or killed. I have some... I mean, look at Conan the Destroyer. I died on the horn. The horn plunged into my stomach. I have some interesting deaths.
That's
I
true.
think that...
Thrown in a chasm by Margot Kidder.
Yes.
You get shot by Jane Badler. It's like
yes,
there's infinite variety.
I'm sure that if we think very hard, I was eaten by somebody nasty once upon a time and spat out. I think that I would certainly like to be doing something other than just playing the villain. I've kind of cornered the market on sucking in the cheeks and looking evil. It works very nicely, though, in parking lots when you can't get a space. You know, I start giving that evil, mean look. But it's difficult. It's difficult because we all want to work, and if the work keeps coming, and that's the kind of movie, that's the kind of role you're being offered, to actually break away from that it would take a lot of money, basically. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you very much.
That was it?
Yes.
That's it for our coverage of Part 1 of the Icon Convention.
Yes, that's only Part 1. Part 2 is next week. That'll be exclusively devoted to our panel on censorship in fantasy, science fiction, and comics. We'll have writers, we'll have editors, we'll have comics people.
Some of whom have been on the show.
Some of whom haven't. So there'll be lots of surprises. We'll see you then.
This episode was sponsored in part by Dahl Books Incorporated. Publishers are Marion Zimmer Bradley, C.J. Cherry, Tanya Huff, Mercedes Lackey, and other writers of high-quality fantasy, science fiction, and horror since 1971. For a free catalog, write to Dahl Books Incorporated, 375 Hudson Street, Department T, New York, New York, 10014. Aria Press, publishers of A Distant Soil by Colleen Doran. The second issue of this tale of an unusual family is on sale now at your local comic shop. For subscription information, write to Aria Press, 12638-21, Jefferson Avenue, Newport News, Virginia, 23602. Tundra Publishing Limited has an incredible lineup of great books coming your way this summer, including The Crow, the acclaimed series by James O'Barr, presented in handsome collected volumes with new covers by the artist. The third issue is now on sale and sees Eric reach beyond his own death to avenge the brutal rape and murder of his girlfriend. Madman by Michael Dalton Allred. Don't miss the astoundingly heroic adventures of comicdom's newest and coolest hero. Plus, each issue includes a continuous action flip book. Silicon Horizon, an action-packed science fiction trilogy from the creator of Laundryland and Liaison de la Shoes. Follow 3 computer programmers as they try to protect the Earth from invasion. Each of these 3-issue series are now on sale from Tundra. Icon 12, the East Coast's largest convention of science fiction and science fact, to be held April 16th, 17th, and 18th, 1993 at the State University of New York at Stony Brook. Tentative guests include Craig Shaw Gardner, Ed Bryant, and Gregory Benford. For more information, write to Icon, P.O. Box 550, Stony Brook, New York, 11790. Nest Robber, the new action-adventure comic series written by Joe Duffy and illustrated by Maya Sakamoto, beginning in the fall of 1992 from Blue Sky Blue. Be sure to look and ask your retailer for it. For more information, write to Blue Sky Blue, P.O. Box 415, Long Beach, New York, 11561. Tor Books, a publisher of fantasy, science fiction, mystery, thriller, and horror books available at your local bookstore, including 2 new fantasies. Sogsmith, a collaboration between Andre Norton and A.C. Crispin taking place in Norton's popular Witch World, and Spirit Walk by Charles D. Lint, the sequel to Moonheart. Both of these hardcovers are on sale now. Superlative Video is now accepting clients for remote video shooting in half-inch and 3/4-inch formats. This fall, we will have studio space available as well. For more information, please call 212-548-8495.
Well, sorry. After all that was it. God, you haven't even asked my inside leg measurement.
Oh,
Am I making you nervous?
Not at all. Well, if you want to tell us what
now you're blushing. Now let me interview you. Now you're a young person.
Yes.
Tell me. You're all waiting to hear this now. Who's going to see this program?
Lots of people in Manhattan and anybody who orders the tape. We have a mailing list for catalogs and stuff. So.
Oh, great. So I should have said something really sort of very important and vital and special, like.
Not necessarily.
Not necessarily.
If you want to. I think just the pleasure of seeing you on camera will be enough for most of them.
He's stumbling now, folks, so I think this is probably time to... Did I have that bit of spinach between my teeth? Thank you so much.
No, I would have told you.
I think that I just have to... Let me just sum this up.
Okay.
When I first came to America after Superman,
right.
A producer said to me, gosh, in real life you're really quite funny and witty and amusing, and in Superman you're so evil and wicked. How do you manage it? And I said, in England, we call it acting. And that kind of sums it up. It is acting, it is fun, but I do other things.
Yes.
I actually juggle. Would you like to come outside with me? And I'll show you how. Come on, baby. We're out of here.
Thank you.
We're going now. Bye-bye.